This part. They left a nightmare room. Okay, these people rented out the whole hotel, but they left one room that he is referring to as a nightmare room. Why is it a nightmare room? Let me rewind and y'all can see. Why does the fake callus keep coming up, y'all? First, we found it in Kim Porter's blood. Then we see Blippi doing Harlem Shake poop. And now the man is saying they had feces in the nightmare room. Maybe you've seen this video from Vice Informer that was posted in 2022 called Secret Bleep Parties of the Mega Rich. Informer. I mean, look like everybody saw it. It has 19.5 million views. It was a very widely viewed video. But ever since the whole Cassie and Diddy footage was leaked from probably the Fed to CNN, and now we've all seen it, I've personally been wondering why this happened in a hotel. Why would Diddy do this in a hotel? Why wouldn't he just keep it together long enough to wait till he got to his house? I mean, look, listen, I don't think he should have did it anywhere, and I think he should pay the consequences and the price for it, whatever they may be. But I thought we could revisit this video and kind of talk about some of the allegations that were made in here and how now knowing what we know today, this sounds very believable. Even though 2 years ago or whatever, whenever this came out, I would have had a hard time believing it. Or I would have thought it was just some weird one-off or like some weird rush or something. No, this stuff's happening all the time. And he's literally sitting here 2 years ago trying to tell us. So this person purports to be a former employee of the hotel industry. Let's see what he has to say.
The hotel industry is a wild experience that helps you understand how disconnected the wildly wealthy are. I've seen the darker side of humanity, suicides, murders, spousal abuse, human trafficking.
Spousal and human trafficking. Interesting that he would say those things just so quickly right off the bat.
That shit stays with you for a long time.
I bet.
One weekend, a large group of around 60-ish people, they wanted to purchase out the entire hotel so they could...
His voice is a little muffled. Some of the stuff I'll probably just repeat, but he said at one point a group tried to rent out or wanted to rent out the entire hotel, and this group was of about 60 people.
Just turn it into a giant upwards of $250,000 for 2 nights at a time. They left a nightmare room. Blood.
This part. They left a nightmare room. Okay, these people rented out the whole hotel, but they left one room that he is referring to as a nightmare room. Why is it a nightmare room? Let me rewind and y'all can see.
Was upwards of $250,000 for 2 nights at a time. They left a nightmare room. Blood, feces, semen stains. One of my bellboys.
Why does the fake callus keep coming up, y'all? First, we found it in Kim Porter's blood. Then we see Blippi doing Harlem Shake poop. And now the man is saying they had feces in the nightmare room.
Came up and was like, I got a blood.
And don't forget Ice Spice talking about, you think you're not even the fart, and I miss Poopy Pants, and we got a video for that coming out on BJ Investigates, Poopy Gate. But I'm noticing there's feces all over the place. Everywhere I look.
Black light, I'm curious. He turned it on. We looked down and saw the stains. We looked to the sides and saw them on the wall. At one point in the bathroom, we looked up and saw them all on the ceiling, and we were just like, how do you do this? This is not human. Were you on the ceiling?
How do you do this? This is not human. Were you on the ceiling? And it's a luxury hotel, too.
I worked as an operations manager for around 10 plus years. I've worked in hotels where the average daily rate is anywhere from $99 and then all the way up to boutique properties where the average cost is around $1,400 per night. In general, the higher up the price value, the more common it is to be treated like you're less than human.
The higher up the price value, the more common it is for those people to treat the hotel workers as if they are less than human.
The people who are coming to visit you, famous pop stars, Russian oligarchs, they have a private plane that they get in a private vehicle with all tinted blackout windows. Sometimes they have security squads. They'll snap their fingers at them. Very large sense of entitlement. Most people who visit boutique hotels are not coming for business.
Most people who visit boutique hotels are not coming for business. That's what that man just said.
They're there for pleasure. There was a group of fabulously wealthy individuals. You can definitely get a sense of how much wealth they actually have when they're talking about things like buying a fleet of Boeings.
What is going on with that? Now I'm starting to wonder, is Boeing, the company, in on something a little more sinister than just making planes? Because this man specifically, of all the debauchery, of all the things that he probably saw in 10 years, he's sitting here talking about how some guy one time was talking about buying a fleet of Boeings. Girl, I don't know. I wasn't there.
In the lobby, casually. They would buy out this entire property, and it was basically a giant swingers. We'd have people having a pool, people laying on our wine bars naked, a couple having sex on the balcony in plain view. So you're looking.
Which I will say, if this is truly a consensual thing that all these people are in on and they want to do, laissez-les, bon temps roulé, me chat, because it don't bother me what y'all do with y'all's own body on your own time and your own money. Can't take it with you when you go. Spend it if you got it. I'm not coming to your party. I'll catch you on the, brunch the next day or whatever. But I don't have any issue with it. The problem is, whenever this type of stuff is going on, it always, now knowing what I know now about this industry and all that, he's talking about seeing pop stars there and stuff. It's giving
Quite an angle, and every single room would have a different theme and a safe word posted outside of the door. It was actually kind of impressive, the details they went, so it was very like under the sea vibe. There was the Wild West room. There was the straight up BDSM room. One couple we had to talk.
And I don't know. I want to know if that straight up BDSM room is the same as the nightmare room.
To while they were naked. They would purposely wait to start having sex until housekeeping wanted to clean the room. They wanted somebody to watch.
That's nasty. Y'all shouldn't have did that.
The day after they had all departed, I got a call from housekeeping saying that one of the showers is busted, and I go take a look at it, and they had.
Oh, this part's nasty. I'm gonna probably fast forward through this part. It's nasty.
And that was as disgusting as you can imagine. For all of the drama and mental scarring that we put up with for this buyout group, probably between about 30 staff, I want to say we made $20 in tips.
Nasty.
I found myself on more than one occasion getting stuck in awkward situations between husbands, their lovers, and then the actual wife. The worst case.
Probably fast forward through this part. He basically just says he would often find himself in love triangles, and he was kind of put in a position to address it. Like, the husband would be upstairs with somebody, engaging in an FO type situation, and the wife would be downstairs like, I know my husband's here. I tracked his location. And he basically would have to lie. So I'll skip through that.
Scenario slammed bank statements down. It's like, I know my husband's here. You guys are lying to me. So, you know what? I'm so sorry. We don't have anyone here by this name. And meanwhile, we can literally hear them having upstairs.
But this is the type of thing where it's like, then the hotels are complicit. Because if you have a rule that you will lie to someone's wife to not tell the wife that they're there at the hotel, then you are basically enabling the FO to happen. So yeah, I mean, while you're sitting here complaining that y'all only made $20 and this, that, and the other, and they had messed up all this stuff and they had made such a mess and all that, it's like, y'all also participate in the behaviors that make it conducive for these people to throw these parties here. I mean, you were the operations manager. The guy's not saying he was a housekeeper. He's saying he was operations manager for 10 years. So at any given point, you could have just said, no, you're not renting out this hotel for your FO. And he didn't. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Which might be a sad statement on their marriage, actually. The problem with working with the fabulously wealthy is that they often assume that the staff is there at their beck and call regardless of what the request is.
So then he goes on to describe how a lot of times people would be approached about participating in these parties, like the workers at the hotel. So if it was like a pretty lady at the front desk, then that person would be offered money to participate, whenever she got off her shift or whatever. And he kind of implies that at least one time someone actually did do it. I'm still a little bit hung up on why there was feces all over the nightmare room. I'm just curious.
It was really calm.
Also, while we're at it, blood. Why was there blood? I mean, that I could kind of understand. Like, I know that some of y'all are really weird and into that stuff. And yes, I will kink shame you. I'm not in the don't kink shame community, girl. Yes, I will shame. If your kink involves violence, blood, and feces, I'm shaming. I'm sorry, I am. I'm allowed to. My gaslit era is over. That being said, y'all can do what y'all want in your own depraved time. I would discourage it because I don't think that's healthy or safe. You can do what you want. But I'm judging and I'm shaming. Yes, I am.
Come nightfall, one of our event staff slept with the wife and ended up getting caught. It turned into quite a big deal with screaming and shouting and all this stuff. He hid in a bathroom
Sitting
in a supply
hotel
closet
girl.
until the heat died down, and then he just walked into the front office and clocked out like nothing ever happened. His mom happened to be in charge of events, so she made sure he didn't get terminated. The demographics of the staffs who work at hotels are usually pretty evenly split. Our housekeeping teams, under the concept of divide and conquer, telling them,
Okay, now this part is very interesting. Listen to this.
we were actually advised to handle our housekeeping teams under the concept of divide and conquer, telling them, oh, well, so-and-so's team's much better than yours. You should really try to keep up with the Mexican team. It creates that toxic environment. This prevented the entire housekeeping team from uniting together and presenting concerns. And I saw that kind of model in multiple hotels.
He's saying they trained him. They trained the operations manager on how to keep the housekeeping staff from coming together and rising up and saying, hey, we don't want to clean out hacksaw anal probes from the showers anymore. Can we maybe stop having these FOs here? No, instead of being able to come together, they were worried about being compared to one another. And this just reminds me of like a human king tactic. I'm not saying that's what this is, although he did say he did CHT, but it is a tactic. And if you look at like the Lou Pearlman bands, like Lou Pearlman's the guy who started Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, O-Town, LFO, all these boy bands, right? What did the business model depend on? Well, HT of children and eventually, teenagers and adults eventually, and divide and conquer. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were too worried about competing with each other to turn and look at what Lou Pearlman had going on and what he was doing. Now, eventually they did figure it out, but it's the tactic. And now I'm just wondering, that same, I just keep, as he's talking about this, I keep replaying in my mind this footage of Diddy running down the hallway like a damn puma chasing some prey, like a predator trying to get prey, like a predatory creature, a demonic predatory creature trying to hunt. And Cassie literally said in her lawsuit that happened during a freak-off. So, wow, I'm just wondering, did he have the whole floor rented out? Did he have the whole hotel rented out? Girl, I don't know. But apparently that's what people do. They rent out the whole hotel for just 60 people.
In retrospect, I can safely say that the hours they made me work, the wild situations you'd run into, it's a miracle that I never got in a really bad car accident commuting. It slowly burns you out in a way that you can't explain until you're out of it.
Yes.
You just kind of know something's wrong.
It's soul sucking. It's sucking your soul out. It's subjecting you. It's grooming. It's making you comfortable or not comfortable, but it's desensitizing. Remember we talked about the blippy, the predator. Remember we talked about the continuum, the steps of abuse. It's like the first thing you got to do is find a vulnerable victim. So somebody that really needs the money, somebody that's trying to move up in their career, something like that, that would count. Then you have to desensitize. So if you are constantly subjected to naked people coming up to you and having discussions with you, then the next step is, well, now those naked people are actually engaging in a certain type of act, maybe suggestive. And then the next step is they're actually doing the act and you have to clean the room around you. And then the next step is, oh, would you watch us for if we paid you $1,000? And then the next step is, can I in your mouth? You know what I mean? Like kind of thing.
You're not happy. The biggest thing that the public doesn't understand about the hotel industry.
What is it?
Is that there are wild things happening behind closed doors every single day. Fabulously wealthy individuals are wild. Everything happens behind closed doors at hotels.
And I'm starting to feel like money makes people evil. I'm starting to feel that way. But there is a very profound quote from the wise Rich Lux. It was so profound. I've mentioned it before. He has said before, and I do think he is right. Money does not make you evil. No. Money does not corrupt you. Money allows you to be who you really are. So if you're already a bad person, money is going to let you be a bad person for some time. I mean, as we see, everybody does get their karma eventually. Maybe it's not even till the next 2-3 lives, but you're going to get paying back what you put in. But if you're a very good person, money doesn't make you a bad person. Probably you're giving your money away. You're using it for philanthropic purposes and goals. You're not using it to rent out a hotel and have a FO party for your 60 closest friends. And maybe you are, but you're not being mean to the staff while you do it. You maybe would clean up your own mess. You know what I mean? It's just things to think about. But throughout the duration of me watching this video, which I had seen before, but now there's a new context. Throughout the duration of it, all I could imagine was Diddy running like a puma down the hallway, snatching up Cassie by the ponytail, kicking her in the back, in the spleen, in the liver. Oh, apparently he dangled somebody over the side of the thing. And I'm just thinking about that nightmare room. What are on these tapes? What's about to come out? Who knows? Not me. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither is commenting on a Vice video, girl. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
You are the solution. You are the solution. You are the solution. You are the solution. Everything I needed.
Let me tell you something right now because I know you're watching. I will be saying everything you tried to do to me.